Well, what do we have here? What is up, my dudes? We're back once again. Today and today only. That's a lie. We're going to be playing some Beastman Valheim. Great game, by the way. There we go. Let's get in it. Let's get it. Another pesky chaos worshiper. Hey, what's up, Kang? Oh, I need to bring up my dashboard so I can read chat. There we go. Why did you change stream time to my bedtime? Very sus. You know, the forces of chaos are on the move, Speedy, and my stream schedule has not, been immune. Also, can we just talk about again how awesome it is that this exists? Ugh, can't wait. Anyways, it's good to see you though, Speedy. I have missed you. He just hates his European viewers secretly. Nothing new. Oh, let me switch over to game capture here. Well, wait, no, we'll wait a sec. Sega. Okay, hold on. I believe in you. I believe in the power of the game capture. There we go. Now you can't see my start menu when I alt tab. Today, my friends, we embark on a journey few would dare. There's a reason why, you start over here in the land of the really pretty high elves and the really awesome lizardmen and the really seditious, dark elves and the incredibly overpowered Skaven. And there's a reason why you have to scroll all the way to the end before you see these three degenerates that nobody cares about. I didn't see the end of Marathi, but I assume things just fell over since you got Ulthuan. Yeah, so if I had to summarize the end of the Marathi campaign, lots of money, lots of armies, lots of fighting petty wars, and lots of AFK waiting. So yeah, I don't think anything really super exciting happened. Personally, I don't think so. It was mostly just trying to make sure we got to the campaign victory. I mean, they aren't all the way at the back. I know, isn't that sad? There are things more forsaken than them. But it is hilarious, you have to admit, how the two most, terrible factions are at the end. It used to be all three of the terrible factions were at the end, but, these guys don't suck anymore. We're going to be playing Malagor. Dar Armu, the Dark Omen. So should now the Wood Elves go to the left? Technically, the Wood Elves should be, all the way over here in this area. Technically. They seem out of place there? Absolutely. I mean, I think it's... I don't know why Norska's here. Technically, I don't know. It doesn't really make much sense what the ordering even is. Yeah, the fact that Vampire Coast is before 2... I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know. This needs to change. In Game 3, there are 63 or something Legendary Lords. And the fact that this is how you have to pick from them, you know what I mean? This was good whenever there were 8. Can we push Lizardmen all the way back? Not because they're bad, they're just eh. I mean, yeah. It'd be nice if you could customize this. But let's see here. There's a mod to change it. I think I've seen that mod. It makes it like a grid that you can pick from, almost like one of those old Godzilla fighting games. If anyone's ever played those, but it's like a grid of portraits. You click it and then it shows all their stuff on the side. That would be really cool. I've seen those. All right, but anyway, let's talk about the reason we're all here. All right, Goatmen. So we're gonna be playing Malagor because I want to play Malagor. Look, he's cool and edgy. He has wings, but he can't fly. You know how angry that would make you? I don't know if anyone here ever played Soul Calibur 2, but there was a guy called Lizardman, and he was so out of place in the game. Never played Soul Calibur. Was he from Warhammer? The Lizardman guy? Because I know Soul Calibur is kind of like a Smash Brothers style game where they just pull from all kinds of different things. Don't know? Interesting. So, for Malagor here, he has 10% increased campaign movement range for all of his armies. Nice. +2 capacity for Bray Shamans. These are their caster heroes. Nice. +2 horde growth per turn all armies. Nice. Wish it was more, but nice. And diplomatic relations +3 with Beastmen. Who cares? They only pull from the console franchises for a guest character. The rest is all their own. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I just remember there was, like, Darth Vader. You know what I mean? As far as Malagor's army himself goes, local enemy armies suffer a -8 leadership penalty, which kind of helps against the legendary difficulty. I can't remember how much it is. It's either 5 or 8 that the AI gets from legendary difficulty. I'm not sure. Darth Vader because he looked like the PS3. I like that logic. He also lowers their replenishment, which really doesn't matter at all. And he has +3 recruit rank for Bray Shamans, which is really nice. Gets them that little extra oomph in the beginning. He starts with some Poisonous Chaos Warhounds, a Chaos Giant, which is really cool, and some Ungor Spearman Herds. This is one of the few factions where Giants are still relatively useful, because they have Woodsman Giants, which is pretty neat. So Beastmen as a faction, they have access to the Dark Moon, which is every so many turns they get a dilemma where they get to pick a buff, which varies in power. It's okay. It was cool whenever it first came out, and now it's just kind of whatever, given how like extra spicy all the other factions mechanics are. They're relatively useful because everything else is absolutely useless. There's my guy. He knows what's up. Yeah, the only reason these giants are still useful is because they haven't been outdated yet. You're absolutely correct. They have access to the Beast Pass, which is just like the world routes or the underway. They can, teleport their army across impassable terrain. And they have a very aggressive unit roster with a variety of fast-moving beasts and monsters. And by a variety of fast-moving beasts and monsters, they mean Minotaurs, Minotaurs with shields, and Minotaurs with great weapons. Just in case anyone was curious. Yeah, so we're going to be playing on Legendary very hard. Legendary Chaos Invasion. What are you doing to yourself today? What's up, Seafloor? I don't know. I'm going down a dark road. A terrible dark road. And I'm sorry, chat, but you have to follow me. I think we're going to be going for the short campaign victory. Actually, I wanted to check this real quick, chat. Before we get started, I need to look at my achievements. Because if I have not gotten the Beastman achievements, we are going to be getting the short campaign victory. Yeah, there it is. Playing as Beastman, win a single player campaign on very hard at legendary difficulty. Gotta do it. Soul Calibur's Lizardmen are just made for the campaign. Cool, good luck. Thank you, Seafloor. Oh wow, that looks awful. And really out of place, Speedy. Oh, Soul Calibur's Lizardmen are just made for a campaign as generic grunts. Interesting. Alright, so let's dive in. The Chaos Moon looms in the sky. It is a dark omen, a demand from the ruinous powers that the Cloven Ones rise up. The despoiler of the Sacred himself, Malagor, has made it to the long-ruined city of Morcane, deep in the Badlands. He revels in its ruin, a glorious reminder of a sundered civilization for those who would follow him, and what will come to pass should Malagor's desires be fulfilled. So begins the Crowfather's destructive path. Something wicked is coming. Dun dun dun. How do Beastmen work? Can we name the hordes? Do they even have hordes? Yes. You can rename the lords, and that technically renames the horde. And we do start out with one generic lord that we can rename.
Your hour approaches, Crowfather. Here amongst the ruins of Morcane, a once proud city of mankind, You have prophesied the end of all uncloven. Yet the time for portents is done. We must move. In distant lands, other war herds move through their own blood grounds. In time, you may encounter them as either friend or foe. Know that you have kin, but trust only in yourself. Further north, past the mystic forest of Atheloren, is Bretonia. Arrogant and aloof, its glittering spires a sure sign of self-righteousness. You should bring ruin to this pretty realm. East of Bretonia lies the Empire, the very pinnacle of mankind's hubris. Its capital, Altdorf, is the center of power and a symbol of its surety. Reduce it all to rubble. Let pandemonium reign. The Empire is powerful, but divided. You must strike soon, for it may yet unify and seek to bring civilization to the Bloodgrounds. To the south, the border princes hold a tentative grip on all that they call theirs. Yet they are isolated by the mountains and the Blackfire Pass. Soft targets for a hungry herd such as ours. Though the dwarfs and greenskins lie between us and the realms of man, Malagor, they are trifling obstacles. You are the Dark Omen, Dar Armu, destined to bring an unending age of destruction to man's uncloven world.
Shouldn't he just say Grug smash horse knights? I'm led to believe that the advisor, since he is a Zinchian wizard, has the gift of tongues. So whatever he says, the beastmen interpret as beast language. But yes, you're correct. He should just say Grug smash horse knights. So this is actually hilarious, chat. White people happy? Yes, indeed. This is hilarious. So any other campaign that you play, the floating village will be owned by whatever this place is called. Who are you? The Strigos? Yeah, the Strigos Empire. And what would happen was on turn 1 of this campaign, you would be taking attrition because you would be in a vampiric settlement. So only recently, I'm pretty sure it was the last DLC, maybe even, I don't know, I'm not entirely sure. Creative Assembly changed it so that whenever you play Malagor, the Top Knots own it. And I think that's absolutely hilarious. They literally just give you a nice free little morsel here. Let's check our diplomacy so you can understand something really important here. Yes, it was Strigos. Yeah. Yeah. And it didn't change until very recently. So we're at war with the Top Knots, Midland, the Empire, the Wood Elves, and Arguillan. You can't talk to anyone? Are we role-playing? I can't talk to you. I can't talk to you. I can't talk to you. Can't talk to you. We're just permanent at war with all 4 of these factions. Clan Scryer likes us. We have a non-aggression back with them.
What does Skaven Blight do with you?
I meant that more as a statement of fact.
Yes.
Malagor the Diplomat. What the heck is this bot doing here, dude? Catch this ban. So this is kind of nice. Half your list is grayed out. Yes. You legitimately just can't talk to them. Because there is no negotiating with man's uncloven world. Whoa, what the heck is that? Vix77 double K. Thank you for the follow. Your follower number 159? Yeah, 159, Pog. Thank you. What does uncloven mean? So they're goat people, right? Goats have cloven hooves, which means their hooves are in 2 pieces. You know what I'm saying? Their hoof isn't like a horse hoof, where it's like all one thing. Yeah, that's why they're called the cloven ones. Because they have cloven hooves. Just gonna lurk sometime because I love Beastmen, sadly missing them from my collection. Vix, you're more than welcome. I appreciate you being here. This is not lurking. It's already failed. Speedy, be nice. Okay? Let's see. So, okay. We have come full circle, chat, in the history of Total War Warhammer mechanics. And that's this thing right here. Bestial Rage. Thanks for Leo, not the interweb guy much. Hey, you know what? That's fine. Like I said, you're more than welcome to just sit back and relax, dude. Yeah, Speedy's just pulling your leg. Don't worry. So Bestial Rage, chat, is a copy-pasted mechanic. We were bullied by the streamer. I haven't bullied anybody. Never in my life. So Bestial Rage is a mechanic that was copied over from the Greenskins. They had a fightingness mechanic, and they would spawn WA armies and all that stuff. You guys might remember that. Which doesn't exist anymore, because Creative Assembly realized that it was a really bad mechanic, and they removed it from the Greenskins and replaced the WA with something else. Well, you can still play with it as the Beastmen. We still have to deal with it. So it's literally the exact same thing. It's a bar. Once it reaches this threshold, we'll spawn an army. Once it reaches below a certain threshold, we start taking attrition. You lose it by not fighting, by engaging in diplomacy, and by sitting in encampment stance. And you gain it by fighting. That simple. Let's see. Gonna get going. Nobody's home. We're just gonna go ahead and take care of that. Let's see here. What do we want to start with? There's one that does growth right here. Horde growth +3. You have to rush that. The other thing about that's special about Beastmen is every time you research a technology, your research rate goes down. So you have these special technologies over here, which you can spend money on and gain research rate. Wouldn't it be better just to get all the troops to one army? Yes. That's exactly what we're going to do.
Malagor.
Next turn. On an open field. This guy? There you go. Will you keep the second lord for baiting ambushes? Absolutely, Vix, I will. That is his entire purpose. Oh no, a Dothraki horde on an open field. I get it. I get it. Where is... Okay. So that is kind of the bread and butter strategy that you do with Beastmen, is you have this empty army. You gonna die? What's up, Gretch? I appreciate your unbridled support. Remember when Game of Thrones was still fun? Yep, I remember. So you keep this one army out in plain sight, basically. And, move these guys over there. There we go. And then you have the second army in ambush stance hidden nearby. And so what'll happen is they'll attack the one random lonely army, and then your army will pull in and reinforce, and they'll be basically ambushed. And it can be used to pretty great effect. Death to all haters of Dawi. Just for that grudge, I'm going to burn the entire Karazhan Corps. Watch me.
Malagor.
The old bait and switch? Exactly. Arsui Arifus. You won't make it that far? Okay. Is Dawi that faction I bought just to play with Skarsnik? No, no. Well, yes. Yes. So Dawi are the dwarves. So Belagar, he's a dwarf. The guy opposed Skarsnik.
Ungors. Quillak. Dawak ass. Leostian.
Bah. Dawis suck? Oof. I know, just hating Dawi. I see. I get it now. I get it. A band. See, this is why Grudge isn't a mod. The Dawis are Chaos Dwarves and they are way cooler. Yeah. Absolutely. So we have access to the lore of the wild, which is a pretty decent lore. It's not fantastic, but it's not bad. I really shouldn't have put the giant and Malagor into one of these units. Definitely should have split them. Imagine being offended at something for centuries. Very nice. We took a lot of damage, but that's because we have really crappy infantry. Just don't get your name in the book. Yeah, it's like the opposite of, like, you know, it's like Santa's naughty list. That's what the Damas Kron is. I'm known to be offended for centuries, and now I'll be offended for centuries at you. I think I bought every DLC besides Sisters, Beastman, Vampire Coast just to play with Chaos and Greenskins for 5 years. So basically I hate every other faction. Nice. Nice. So Vix, you must be pretty excited for Warhammer 3 then, if you have been playing Greenskins and Chaos for 5 years. Do we take the money or the growth? I think we take the growth. Oh, why would you run into there? That's obnoxious. Whatever. Thanks, game. We'll get Gargantuan hooves. Get our movement range up. If you like Chaos, you should play Amazons and Troy. That'll give you some insight into what Chaos is probably going to turn into. That's for sure. So, as far as the lore of Wild, I'm pretty sure it's the lore of Wild. Right? Wild magic. It's not beasts. Yeah, wild magic. Yeah, the lore of Wild. It's unique to the Beastmen. It has Vile Tide, which is basically awakening the wood, without the slowing effect. Bestial Surge gives everyone on the map vigor, all of your units vigor and charge bonus. It's pretty nice. Bray Scream is just, you know, it's a breath. It's just your average breath. I mean, it's got a wider angle and like a shorter range. Devolve is an AoE damage over time that lowers leadership. It's pretty expensive though at 20 winds of magic. Traderkin is, it's another damage over time ability, but it's an AoE. This one's kind of like the Balthazar Gelt spell. What's it called? Final Transmutation. It's an AoE that's good against like single target. Kind of weird, but it's also 20 winds of magic. Then you have the Mantle of Gorak, which is just a big buff. Look at that. It's 40 melee attack, but it's only on one thing, and it's only 9 wounds of magic. And it's also minus 30 armor. So this is really good on like a lord that's dueling. Like, it'd be really good on Malagor because he only has 15 armor to start with. So you'd pop this on him whenever he's dueling a lord. Savage Dominion is really nice because it summons a Sigor, which is, if you don't know, a giant that throws boulders. Really good. So it's an okay lore of magic. It's pretty expensive, but I mean, it's not bad. Sigor Doomstack, maybe. He has the Icons of Vilification, minus 5% upkeep, plus 1 recruit rank for Brave Shamans, hero recruitment cost reduction, horde growth plus 5, and constant plus 12 leadership within 40 meters of him. Enemy leadership minus 9 local region with something wicked this way comes. That would stack with this to be minus 17, which is pretty useful. Oh, okay, so beastmen get rock throwing giants, but I can't have a rock throwing tree. I see how it is. Exactly. Like a little child, it is comparable with the feeling I had when I got my first model 20 years ago, and it was Emmerich on a dragon. So I'm pretty much excited. That's awesome. I'm very happy for you. See, that's the cool thing that kind of underlies all of this. I never played Warhammer Tabletop, but it's really cool to see all of these old fans of the tabletop like finally get that what they really enjoyed in a really awesome video game and get to actually play with them and experience them. It may not be obviously the same as playing tabletop, but it's just really cool to see people getting something so awesome. And it's honestly like a once in a lifetime opportunity, to be perfectly honest with you. He's got Unholy Power, which is really good. That's plus 30 winds of magic. That's really nice. Yeah, for one, it's only half as expensive. That's true. That's true. He's got the Crowfather, which is starting amount plus 30. So basically, he's all about the winds of magic here. Fueled by Blood is vigor loss reduction for the whole army. It's pretty nice. Gives him an augment that gives him more armor-piercing weapon damage. Leadership aura size, missile resistance. Who cares? Crown of Horns. This isn't very good. Manbane. Sure. Sure. That's really good. Slug Skin is really nice. The whole army gets plus 20% weapon strength. Super good. Pretty, typical red skill line, but let's see here. Call of Violence. Okay, that's just the leadership buff. Apocalyptic Vision, leadership and 24 melee attack. Okay, so it's standard die or something like that. As far as the blue skill line goes, which is what we will be starting with. Before you do anything, can you explain why most people hate Beastmen? What makes them so horrible? I think that's something that's just going to kind of become apparent over the course of this campaign. But it's mostly the fact that their horde growth is so slow. That's the main thing. And their early tier units are just not good enough to take on walled settlements, which are where most of their income is in raising walled settlements. They didn't change anything about the Beastmen from release. I know I played them a few years ago on some pirated buggy version of the game. Basically, no. The only thing that's changed about the Beastmen since the release is the red skill tree. Pretty sure that's it. I'm trying to remember, but I don't think... Nah, nothing else has changed. They just updated their red skill tree from Warhammer 1 to Warhammer 2. They did change Chaos so that Chaos now grows 10 times as fast, so do Arcs, but I've never seen it. Yeah, they did. They buffed Arcs and Chaos Horde growth, but they never buffed Beastmen. Look. We have a plus 11 growth, okay? And that's because, one, I just raised the settlement and chose to get plus 8 growth from it. That only lasts one turn, so I only get 8 growth points. That's it. I'm then getting 2 because I chose to play as Malagor, and he gives all Horde plus 2. And then there's just the basic 1. So if I wasn't playing Malagor, and if I hadn't just raised this settlement, we would be at plus 1 Horde growth right now. And look at this. The only way you can increase Horde growth outside of, there's a follower which gives you Horde growth, is this Children of Chaos right here to give you plus 9. But that is all the way up here. It's not even here. Chaos has one right here. Beastman, it's over here. Growth isn't even at the scuff. At the scuff. At the start, that's so scuffed. Growth is 3. Yeah, that is weird. We start with 1 horde growth. Interesting. Actually, no, you start at 0. We gained 3 because it's turn 2. So yeah, that's the main reason people hate beastmen, is because they take a long time to get going. And then, of course, the usual horde nonsense. Oh, I mean at the skill tree. Yes. Yes. That takes like 10 years to get. Yes, especially since you can't sack settlements. You can only raise them. It wouldn't be that bad if I could just repeatedly sack this and get a bunch of levels, but I can't even do that. So yeah, that's mainly why. So let's see, the blue skill tree. This one's really good, Blessed by Evil. Minus 15% upkeep for all units. So we'll grab this. We'll probably put 1 point into this one. No, that's useless. This one. So we'll do 3 here, 1 there. Unholy Resilience. Children of Chaos, Lightning Strike, and that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we'll go red skill. So will they redo Beastmen before Warhammer 3? I mean, they did announce that they will not do a faction pack. I don't know if it'll be before or right at Warhammer 3, but it is coming. The Beastmen are going to get a rework. Don't worry. I just don't know when. I couldn't tell you when. The fact that the Wood Elf rework was such a roaring success means Beastmen are 100% getting a rework. Don't you worry. Yeah, don't worry. It's just we're gonna have to wait. Interesting. Now this one, those pigs are scary. I do have a giant though. This would be a good fight to win because we would just straight kill his army because he's in the underway stance. So winning this actually helps us a bunch. It's just his infantry will absolutely chew through ours. So we have to use Malagor and the giant. Basically, the giant needs to kill their lord, actually. Go ahead and speed this up. Yeah, no, this will be fine. We'll stretch a little further. This is good. Alright. Turn back around. And up. Go back in. There we go. This saves a lot of HP on our infantry. And it also terrifies them. I'm going to send the wolves out. Okay, we need to kill Mash with that. Malagor goes here. Give them a brace scream. Give these guys a Vile Tide. Giant's taking a lot of damage. Not too surprising, sadly. They got a Wah. They probably will, but I wouldn't expect too much of it unless they're part of the campaign somehow. I mean, they'll get a Wood Elves scale rework. I'm almost certain of it. Creative Assembly knows how bad Beastmen are, and they know how bad Warriors of Chaos are. And if anything, they know how to you know, spice up factions nowadays. I'm excited for the Dwarves rework, personally. I think there's a lot of cool things they can do with the Dawi. With adding a rune system, and some of the new units for the Dwarves are actually pretty cool. Like the Thunder Barge, the Rune Golems, or the Shard Dragon. Shard Dragon would be kind of weird to see, but still. Expect Warhammer 40k Total War. Hopefully. I don't know how it would work, but hopefully. 370, 1% replenishment, or 4 leadership. And we lose Bestial Rage here. Yeah, that's fine. He's actually teleported 2 armies over here. So here's a nice little trick that we can do, chat. Wait, how much movement do I need? 25%, okay. Right there. We're gonna hide. Fancy, I know. I don't see why it wouldn't just work like this game. Plenty of melee in it. That's true. It's kind of like people have really weird conceptions on how the campaign map would work, and I don't understand why they couldn't just do something where it's just like all the factions fighting over one planet. You know what I mean? And that's just the campaign map. And then if you want to represent stuff going on in orbit, you just do like campaign map abilities or something. You know what I mean? Like there's a drop pod ability where you can drop down an army. You know what I mean? It costs you resources, but you can drop an army anywhere you can see. That's how Dark Crusade did it? Yeah, and that's how Gladius Relics of War does it. Which is like a civilization, Sid Meier's Civilization style game. Dark Crusade was amazing. I never actually played it. Okay, we're gonna upgrade our horde here. Now, in terms of buildings, chat, the Beastmen still don't get a growth building. I mean, Necrons, enough said. I do love Necrons. Soulstorm did 3 plants, but it wasn't anything special. I see. I was so disappointed when they failed at Dawn of War 3. Yeah, kind of sucks. Necrons are lit. Absolutely, I agree. They get the Mound of Blades, which is pretty nice. I mean, plus 10 armor and melee attack is always really good. I'll take it. The Desecrated Altar is also really nice to have. The half upkeep is also really good. But the only way to get horde growth is to upgrade your main building. So, basically, the game plan here, chat, is to rush tier 3, the Squalid Encampment, so that we can get Minotaurs. And that's it. That's the plan. And then we'll be going for Bestigors. And our Doom stack is literally going to consist of Bestigors, Gore Bulls, Minotaurs with shields, and Cygors, and some Bray Shamans. I'm not going to touch any of this. None of it. Not going to touch this either. Okay. So what we're going to do, chat, is we're going to hide over here in the swamp, and we're going to hopefully let this guy colonize the floating village. We're also not going to spend any money on this guy's army, and we're going to demolish this building for the extra 1,200 income. Seeing the blue skill tree, someone thought perfect gameplay for Beastmen is like 5 lords with 20 stack of T1 and 2 units. I mean, that would be nice, and it would work if supply lines didn't exist. Also, if new armies didn't cost so much growth. Actually, we don't have supply lines. Never mind. I take that back. The Beastmen don't even have the supply lines debuff. That's good. Okay. Well, it looks like they did, in fact, colonize the floating village. So now we're going to ninja it. That's good. We're good. I just think CA very accurately depicted the Beastman's strength relative to the rest of the world. Sad goat noises. Very sad goat noises. There we go. Akam Shaish. The Beastmen are also missing like a couple really iconic units from their roster. They're missing Gorgons, and they're missing Jabbersliths.
Beastmen!
See, and that does that even doesn't work because the only sound goats make is ba ba. I don't know, man. Goats make some weird sounds. Let's see. What do we do with Malagor? I'm just gonna run him into these boars. Malagor is especially helpful in these fights because he has spells, and guess what? Savage Orcs are weak to. Spells. Oh, we haven't even gone over this. Beastmen have a special version of Frenzy, which is just slightly better than regular Frenzy. Something wicked this way comes. He does -4 leadership and an AoE around him. Hang on. He also has Unholy Power, which is just a constant improvement to his recharge rate. It's like a constant Arcane Conduit almost. So, yeah, basically he can help sling out some spells. And it's really good to place him in an army with lots of Grey Shamans. Where are my hounds? I didn't even use them yet. There we go. Very good. Now we just wait. There we go. So we're going to be taking the early game pretty slow. We're going to be picking our battles very wisely. And that's one thing you really have to remember, Chad, if you ever play Beastmen, is that you are the hunter. You decide when you fight. As long as you manage your money and your bestial rage, you get to decide when you fight. Is it just me, or did your squads die out way too fast? Are those expendable units? Yes. They're literally like Skaven slaves. Okay, let's look at them. So, it's literally expendable. 15 armor, 24 melee defense, 160 models. Even worse, 15 armor, 22 melee defense, 160 models. They're better than Skaven slaves, but they're pretty much Skaven slaves. Also, this is our only archer unit. At all. Hilarious. 1 AP damage. Also expendable. More blessed by evil. Our friend here is leveled up. And is going to go into hiding. On an open field. Okay, we've hit 2 growth points, which means next turn we'll be able to get the Squalid Encampment. So then we just need to save up 4 growth points so that we can get the Minotaurs. I mean, Skaven slaves are just there to body block anyway, but what is your actual fighting force here? Basically Malagor and the Giant. Basically. Okay, so this is actually a pretty rough choice. Because Gorbulls are one of the best heroes in the game, in my opinion. So just Malagor? Exactly. Or Bray Shamans are also really good, but the problem with this option, chat, is you don't know what kind of Shaman you're going to get. So it's always a safer bet to go with the Gorbull. Because Gorbulls are Minotaur heroes, and they have the best of the best, which gives the whole army 16 leadership. Which is really, really good for Beastmen, because we have really, really bad leadership. Or you could do lower recruitment cost and +3 recruit rank. I would rather have plus 16 leadership, honestly. And you also can either get Strength of the Land, which gives 23 armor and 11 missile resistance in a 30-meter radius. Or you can get the Unrelenting Warherd, which is 36 charge bonus, 16 melee attack. Typically, I go this one because the Beastmen are lacking on missile resistance and armor. And I typically have the Gorbel running with the Minotaurs. So the Minotaurs will not only be harder to break, but they will also be much tougher. And again, chat, the longer something lives, and the longer it takes to route something, the more damage it can do, right? Especially whenever Minotaurs are already sprouting really impressive damage stats. They also get Gorged Tusk, which isn't very good. Gnarled Hide, which is pretty good. Well, I don't know. They already have 100 armor for some reason. I don't know why they have 100 armor. They're literally, I don't know. I guess they're covered in metal. But the melee defense is really nice. 10 melee defense for this is really nice. Slaughterer's Call is good for the early game, but you don't get it until rank 18. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Because it doesn't apply to Bestigors. I mean, we're still going to get it because we will be using Gores, but still. Missile Resistance, Immortality. Your typical Yellow Lion skill tree, Foe Seeker, and Deadly Onslaught. They have Adamantine Armor? Yes, I should have known. That must be what is, that chain. That chain right there must be Adamantium. Training, Spread Public Order, you know, the usual. But basically you get them for Strength of the Land and the Best of the Beast. Under Gore, Gore, Best Gore. Yes, you've got it. You have unraveled the secret. We have Ungores, we have Gores, and we have Bestigors. Yes. Okay, so now what do we do? He's got a military presence of 3. That means it's going to be in Galbaraz. You know what that means. If you guessed we're going to hide right here, you guessed correctly. Because we have infrastructure to build, chat. Also, check out this hot casualty replenishment rate. That day at the office was amazing. I wish I was the guy that came up with that. I really do. No reason to recruit anything. I'm upgrading here. I'm not going to upgrade this. We're not touching that yet. Again, we're saving up 4 Horde growth points in order to get Minotaurs. Have to. It looks like they also got the Horde change where whenever they're encamped in a province, in a region, they get vision of the whole region, which is kind of nice. So I can see if they're coming for me. How much replenishment can you get from followers and skills? You know, that's a really good question. 0 from skills. I don't know about followers. I don't want that. I'm not too well versed on the Beastman's followers. Yeah, the Bray Shamans don't give you replenishment rate, and neither do the Gorbulls, and those are your 2 heroes, so you don't get replenishment that way. None of this gives you replenishment. I think it's only... is there a technology, maybe? I think there is. Right here. You can get plus 13% casualty replenishment if you research the Endless Hunt and Fell Rituals. There you go. That's all you get. Yeah, that's all you get. Exciting, isn't it? Laughs and Wood Elves. Yeah. Wow, yeah. So that's chat. That's a telltale mark of a faction that hasn't gotten a lot of love, because pretty much every faction in play that has been updated recently has really good replenishment rate options. Like, that was one of the biggest things they did to the greenskins, was give them the river troll hag so that they could have actual replenishment rate. Now, the beastmen don't have anything like that. On the flip side, though, you have the dark moon. Morsleep is ascendant, usurping the sun's revered place in the firmament Geheimnisnacht. Actually, no, Geheimnisnacht is when it eclipses the good moon. I'm not sure what this is, when it eclipses the sun. The world is awash with its sick and terrible hue. Such an event is almost unheard of. It is a call to the beastmen, a sign that the herd has an opportunity to dominate. Lead them, Beast Lord, seize glory. So you might have noticed while I was, you know, having shenanigans. So you play around Dark Moon? Kind of. There are 4 options here, and you can kind of recognize these symbols. This one, when one falls, has replenishment. Now, if you hover over it, you'll notice that it can be incredibly powerful, but it can also be incredibly terrible. So for 2 turns, all of your units will fully replenish. No matter how much damage they take, they will full heal at the start of the next turn. Really, really powerful. However, all of your armies will not grow. Yeah. That's just minus 20 net. Yeah. Then you have the cost of skill, which gives you plus 100% recruitment cost, but gives you plus 6 recruitment rank. Are you starting to notice the trend here? No matter how far, gives you campaign movement range, but makes you lose vigor. This one can be pretty useful. Then there's the Endless Herd, which does the exact opposite of when one falls. So we can get 6 turns of plus 10 horde growth, but none of our units will replenish for 6 turns. Or for 2 turns, we can just lose all of our growth, but we're going to full heal. Dude, those penalties are way too heavy for the marginal benefit. Exactly. Now, bear in mind, the Dark Moon changes. These buffs vary in power. So it's not always going to be fully replenished, and it's not always going to be minus 20. Those numbers will change, but it's always the same effect. So this might be plus 1 horde growth, but lowers your replenishment rate by like 10%. You know what I mean? Like, it'll change. So for now, obviously, we're going to take the Endless Herd because we really, really, really need to grow our herd. And this is 6 growth points, basically. Well, it's 3 growth points, technically. That's a free horde growth? Yes, exactly. Well, we could just hide away for 6 turns and not fight anybody. Which is what we're going to do. And since we got that... How much does this cost? Cost 1 growth point? Nah, we're just gonna hide.
Malagor use. Malagor show. Daref aktorgu.
100% just gonna hide. And not upgrade this guy. And so now, chat, we can literally do nothing for 6 turns but wait. And this is another reason why people don't really like Beastmen, right? It's because they have these really long down times that the campaign just kind of forces on you. I was just thinking I've never seen any beasts on the map, but they can hide, so that's probably why. That is exactly why. Is there anything likable in Beastmen? The roster is pretty fun. Minotaurs are beautiful. Absolute units. So puzzles, when you search ruins, is more engaging than Beastmen gameplay. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I was convinced they just weren't in the game. Might as well not be. Might as well not be. Okay, we're up to 3 points. Next turn, we can build our fire pit for the Minotaurs. PogChamp. Oh, by the way, Minotaurs cost 300 gold a turn, if you didn't realize. 293. Let's check this province. He hasn't moved here yet. His army is not in his settlements, though. Let's see. We have to kind of plan here a little bit.
Malagor
How much longer is this? 3 turns? That would be 45 growth, so that's 2 more growth points. Nah, we'll just buy this. There goes all our money. Have you ever seen any Skaven? Never in my life. Me neither. Okay, we got this guy leveled up. Chat, this guy needs a name. We'll do best of the beast. How many more turns we got here? 2. We have 4 turns until the next full moon. He's also at war with Kimri. So that's the thing. And I do need money. He's not at home anywhere, but he does have a 13 garrison there, but only a 9 garrison here. We might move on Galbaraz. This is dangerous. Which is why we're going to send him first. What kind of a name could I possibly invent? I hate to think, King. Malagor the Thick Man? I like Malagor. That's kind of cool. He looks like a Malagor. Alright, we got one more turn of the Endless Herd here. They're gonna go sneak in. You could just call him Bully. True. Equally good names. Malagor the Bully, like in Mario. Hang on. How much does it cost to recruit a Minotaur? 1,150. Yikers. I like Bully. Malagor bullying Bully. It can either be Small Bull or Raging Beast. True. Okay, it looks like nobody's actually in the Galbaraz region. It looks like Gorgazon also got raised. Bullying the bully. You guys are out of control. Just pick one. Pick one, chat, and let me know. Okay, so now, chat. I need money. Does it tell me how much money I'm gonna get? It does not. So we're gonna recruit one thing of Minotaurs. What is the English word for grandma when you call the dog doggy? I don't know. I'm not the best one to teach English. I'm not spending my hard-earned oath gold on a character that's not even a name on the map. There's an ambusher on an open field. Alright, next turn we'll attack Galbaraz
Darkness.
with our Minotaur. I guess this is a type of diminutive. Yeah, listen to the Dutch guy. He knows more about English than I do. Malagor bullying bully. Alright, it will be done. It will be done, my lord.
You are so squeezed car.
Alright, here we go again. Dark Moon. So then you get this nonsense. Man, look at that. Isn't that delicious? Or should I translate it to Polish? I'm afraid if you translate it to Polish, I might not even be able to fit it into the name. So chat, what you do whenever you don't want any of them is you pick the one that hurts you the least. This one lasts 5 turns. Can't recruit anything for 5 turns. Yikes. I'm about to go into battle, so I don't necessarily want this. I don't really want this either.
Malagor Rafkarud.
Nope. Nope. There we go. Okay. So now we strike.
Kawasag. Quilak.
Let's get it, chat. Blood for the blood gore. I'm gonna go lurk from the couch. Alright. See you next time. Alright, later, Speedy. Have a good lurk. Grab this and that. So we have some Minotaurs, aka some thick boys, to go with our Gorbull. Okay, I guess it makes sense for the Gorbull to have 100 armor. I mean, look at that. Look at what he's wearing. So he can announce it, but I can't. Yeah, see, that's how it works, apparently. Cool, cool. Yeah, love Minotaurs. Croxagors wish they were this cool. And then, of course, the giant. Double standards, indeed. There we go. Something to this effect. We have Malagor, the Gorbull, Minotaurs, and the giant. Now, there's only 9 units in this army, so we're not gonna hit too much in terms of ranged firepower. We'll put these guys on the wall. I like how the giant gets reskinned with different factions. Yeah, like the Norse giant, the greenskin giant, the chaos giant, and the beastman giant are all different. Are they reskinned even? Yeah. Yeah, they are. The Beastman Giant is the only one that has these horns, I think. Well, if it's not the horns, it's the fur. It's the only one with the fur. Chaos Giants might have those horns. I'm not sure. Haven't seen one in a long time. Probably because no one ever uses them. I know Norscan Giants are very different looking. Let's get up there, Ungors. Kaboom. Wait, where's... There we go. These are just regular boar boys. Look how big that thing is compared to an orc on a boar. Look at that. They're ginormous. We should be able to shoot that from over the wall. Oh man, the Minotaurs are taking a beating. Like an absolute beating. These aren't even biggins. Oh well. Minotaurs are more for anti-infantry anyway. And that was a lot of cav. That'll be fine. There we go, let's get in there. The fact that we were able to get our archers on top of them too really helped, because that helped terrify them pretty handily. Fun fact, chat, if you're ever spamming spells on a unit, make sure you spread them out and give the unit enough time to stand up. What are you just standing there for? Because units that are laying down on the ground actually can't take damage. Fun fact. Man, these Minotaurs are really expensive, considering what they're doing right now. There we go. Terror really helped us here. There we go. Already almost out of magic. And are you dead? We probably lost those Minotaurs, which is fine. I imagine that they would have done more than that, but they don't have battle skills or veterancy, so. And they were up against 3 whole units of Savage Orc Boar Boys. There we go. There we go. We got it. Easy. Actually, it looks like they survived. I'm pretty sure they survived with only 1 model left. Pretty sure. Yeah, they did. Look at that. PogChamp didn't even lose them. Okay, there's 2,000 there. Really nice. Here's another 6. Also really nice. And of course, he runs back into attrition. Gotta love it. I wish they would let you move your army after you raise. Like, let me decide where I go. Don't just send me into the attrition. But I digress. We'll get our last point into Blessed by Evil here. More Best of the Beast. And then, I guess we're going to sit here and take attrition. Hide that guy. We're also back into the positive income, and I'm not too sure why. Okay, we got our +3 horde growth. Nice. Our next technology is going to be Fell Rituals in 24 turns. That way we get our casualty replenishment up. Is there anything else that would even come close to taking precedence? Weapon strength for Minotaurs is kind of nice. But no, definitely casualty replenishment rate. No. No, this one. We're just going to hide out right here and see if they come to recolonize this lovely little herd stone we left for them. This is a nice pile of carcasses, weapons and armor, stones, marks of chaos, and fecal matter. A lovely parting gift. 3 turns until we get another growth point. And that way we can get this, and that way we can get this. We definitely want to rush Minotaurs with shields, because that is the bread and butter. Great weapons, I find them to be way too squishy, and I find that Minotaurs with shields do enough damage anyway. Does replenishment grow with chaos corruption? I don't even think I can. I can't even look, and I don't remember. I know it gives leadership. It might give replenishment. It might. It definitely gives leadership. But it takes so long for you to sit in a province and wait for the corruption to grow that it's almost not even worth it. Chaos corruption is one of those things that really needs revisited in Warhammer 3. Yeah, I think we're just going to chill here. Because we can't recruit anything because we have double our recruitment cost currently, thanks to the Dark Moon. I'm not giving you any money. I wish we could see how much turns it needs to corrupt or untaint something. Yeah, like they do with Public Order. It tells you how many turns until it rebels. That would be nice. We'll do Blood of the Empire. That would be pretty nice. Because yeah, it just says it's at 25 and it's trending towards 58, but it doesn't say how long that's going to take. And you know that's something that they could calculate. Okay, we got 2 turns until we have horde growth. 3 turns until we can recruit again. We need to start planning our next move. Looking for some nice juicy settlements to plunder. The Savage Orcs don't really have anything left for us.
What tribute do you offer the great king of Nehekara? My will.
Don't mind if I do. Now we have 2 defensive allies, chat. Pog. You know what? That's what we should do. I'm dumb. No, chat. That's what we should do. Holy cow, why didn't I think of this sooner? We need to go to Skavenblight. And we just play around Clan Scryer. Duh. Man, chat, how can you just let me do these things? Of course, we're going to leapfrog our way there. But you see, the other way that you can work around the low replenishment rate for the Beastmen and Chaos Warriors is to have a defensive ally or a military ally whose provinces you can hang out in. Because their regions will give you will treat your armies like they're in your own territory, even though you can't own territory, if that makes any sense. You know what? I actually should have taken the other option on that dilemma. If I had taken the other option on that dilemma, which was -3 Bestial Rage, +3 recruit rank, I could have recruited rank 9 units. I could have rank 9 Minotaurs. That was really dumb. Oh. C'est la vie. There will be more opportunities.
Malagor, dar armu.
I was too excited about my Skaven Blight plan.
Bib Gorma.
Do.
Kar de Gutar.
So you can't recolonize something that has above 50% of some corruption? No, you can. I don't think you should be able to. What I think it should be is that like it increases the cost to recolonize up to like 75%, and if something's more than 75% corrupted, they can't recolonize it. No, I mean it would be an awesome feature. Yeah, I agree with you. Like say start at like 25%, it costs you an extra amount of gold, you know, to recolonize. And at 50%, it costs you even more gold to recolonize and more troops to recolonize. And then at 75% of a specific corruption, you just can't colonize it. Or at least chaos corruption, not necessarily Skaven and vampiric corruption, but definitely chaos corruption. Because it turns the ground into like steel. You know what I mean? Like it's chaos. The most unhospitable thing in existence. We're gonna be passing by Myrmidon. Myrmidons? I don't remember what it's called. So we might be able to raise it to the ground. That would help the rats out. We'll take the leadership. Biggest frustration is when you paint the map with chaos and some cheating Empire Lords start recolonizing the other side of the map you cleared. Yeah, I mean they've kind of addressed that. They like, how long ago did we raise the floating village? It was like turn 5. It's been 14 turns and nobody's come to recolonize that. So they have addressed it. They've made the AI less likely to recolonize, or like they've at least put a cooldown on it. Like the AI will wait a certain amount of turns before trying it. Is it like 10 turn cooldown? It's something like that, yeah. I don't remember. So that's really nice. But yeah. Let's see. We're gonna move. We could raise Grunty Mingle. I do need money. We could also raise the border princes. Look over here. Why is this camera angle so bad? Stop that. There we go. They're still just in Skaven Blight.
I have only one good ear.
If we chipped away... Oh, it looks like they only have Miragliano anyway. But if we chipped away... Oh, they're at war with Astalia. I do think I should go to Skaven Blight. Really do. Oh, I forgot to put this guy in encampment stance. That's awkward. We're doing the old bait and switch again. Creeping Death. That's one of those new factions I don't know anything about. Looks like greenskins. Okay, so now we hit tier 4. We have plus 9 horde growth a turn. This will get us to plus 10. So now we need to save up 1 growth point. So next turn. And we need 2,000 gold. Looks like Grunty Mingle's getting burned. Sorry, bud. And these aren't savage orcs either. So they don't have a weakness to magic like the other ones. But they also don't have that physical resistance. So our troops will do better and Malagor will do a little bit worse. Let's see. Go a little wide here. Ungor's back here. Put these behind the main army. Like so. We good? Yeah, there we go. I don't think they're gonna move. We're just gonna wait for that this beast lord to get there. Run, little guy, run. He's chugging. We're gonna try and flank with these guys and these guys. We're gonna send the giant and the beast lord onto their lord, and Malagor just into the infantry.
Malagor. Dardos.
Walk, 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 walk. Good walk. I guess the giant can run. I thought I told you to walk. Guess not. I wish there was like, I don't know. I don't like doing the thing where you group everyone together, lock formation, and then tell them to move so they all move at the same speed. Rafaelitos, is Tomb Kings a good faction? Depends on what you mean by a good faction, but I would innately respond with yes. They're quite fun. They're pretty strong. They're very unique. You can't really play them like you play everybody else. But they are really cool if you're like kind of digging their aesthetic, you know, their style. I would recommend them. I was afraid of this. Spellcaster. No. What the heck? He just got murked? Hang on, chat. No, not that one. This one. Hang on. Another Wah.
Beastmen! Fast! Dark Earth! Nagumab! Angors! Fast! Beastmen!
No, 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 no.
Forward! Quill Ark! Angors! Force!
Hang on. Dargai ran. Mmm. Kom scheiß. Get him. That sucks. Okay, alright. Woo! Orcs are really strong after the update. Yeah, the WoW ability is pretty crazy. Even archers can 1v1 some units? They absolutely can. We lost the giant, and that is kind of sad. But oh well. That's going to free up enough income for a Minotaur unit, so it's basically the same. Man. Ugh. So that right there, chat, kind of displays to you the strength of the Beastman roster. I know it's kind of funny for me to say that whenever these are the losses after the battle, but that would have been death, basically, if our units weren't faster than theirs. So this is one small glimmer where, look at that money. The Beastman having a fast roster actually helps us. How do we get Kazrak again? Sacrifice 10 septs of captives. Recruit a chaos spawn unit. Okay. Gotta remember that. Okay. Okay, at least we keep our horde buildings. That's what I really care about. Alright. Whew. That was intense. Okay, now we can see Myrmidons. There's a military presence of 10. That tells me we need to go in over here. Get the horde growth. So we're gonna move south. I probably alt F4 after this battle. Nah, dude, we're fine. We're more than fine. There we go. No horde upgrade. We still have 8 grand. Okay, so now we're just going to we're probably going to get rid of this guy, so I'm going to go ahead and disband him to increase our income. I'm going to have to spend our next upgrade point here, because I want to get up to at least gore herds with shields. And thankfully, we just got that event, which gives us +5 horde growth a turn. So you see, chat, what we're doing is we're methodically picking our battles, right? Even though that one was almost a little too much to chew. And we're balancing horde growth and income until we can get our choice units, which are gore herds with shields, and eventually into bestigors. And then just now we got minotaurs with shields, which are here. I should probably cross over. Really dangerous, so we're gonna send this guy first. Gonna cross over right there. Okay, looks clear. How many turns does the Dark Moon cool down? I think it's like 10. Am I spelling at 2 a.m.? That's okay. Don't worry. I think it's like 10 turns. I think. It might change. We'll have to pay attention to it. This is good. This confederation means we're no longer at war with the Bloody Hands. That's good. It's good for us. Means we're perceived as being a little bit stronger than what we are. I'm hoping this is Clan Scryer. We'll check. We'll check. Hold on. Nope. I think we'll do no matter how far. Because we're going to be trying to avoid fights for the foreseeable future. There we go. We now have +16 leadership for the Lord's army. And we have 40% chance to evade while using the beast paths, which is really good. And as any normal beastman would, we're going to run into the trees. And hide. Are you kidding? What? 24%? Okay, whatever, dude. I guess we're not hiding. Even though that totally was more than 25% when I looked at it. It must have been off by like a centimeter, but whatever. It's fine. I don't know, this might be Sartosa. Okay, they got united against us, that's fine. Because we can hide. Now we get vision over this entire region.
The nation called.
Looks relatively safe, but what we're going to do instead is we're on our way to Skavenblight. Oh my, those frames from the beast paths. Holy cow, we can go so far. We can go up to there, okay. We're gonna move here. There shouldn't be any enemies here because no one we're at war with is near here except for the Wood Elves. We're nowhere close to them. We're moderately close, but I would be very surprised if they came and killed us right now. The dreaded 1% always fucks me? Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of rough. Trigos Empire died. Who cares? That was a really good addition, though. That bar, because before, it wouldn't tell you like the percentages and stuff. You just had to kind of eyeball it. You get out of that stupid laggy stance. You only had this bar to go by, and you had to kind of eyeball it. Like when you highlight it and it gives you the percentage, it didn't always used to do that. So, at least there's that. Now we can actually get all the way over here into these trees. Please be,
What you want?
whatever. Again, we wanted that to be Clan Scryer, but that'll have to do. And now we hide. Upgrade that so we get better gores. I'm gonna give him a gift. Typically that helps the AI stay on like positive relations if you actually give in to their demands. Not giving him money that runs the risk of him breaking the treaty, which we definitely don't want. Is Malagor not back yet? Oh no, he is. Whoops. Here's 30%. I guess. Oh well, I already did it. I should have just done this. Because now you can see he's replenishing a bunch because he's in allied territory. And that's the whole goal of coming over here, chat. The only problem is now we're going to be really close to the Wood Elms, but that's fine. If we work together with the Skaven, it should be okay. There we go, we're going to get our gore herds. Maybe chaos corruption can influence replenishment somehow. Yeah, if we like sit there for a long time, you know, maybe we could do something with it. Just pick like a certain area of the map and just be like, okay, this is where we live. You know what I mean? Could do that. I'm gonna move him into the swamp. Look at this replenishment, chat. So much better than whenever we're on our own. Not great, but better. Okay, so now I'm gonna get rid of all of these. I'm going to get three of those to start with. He needs to come back here and chill. All of our money is going to go into recruiting units right now. We're going to get a nice beefy army, and then we're probably going to pop over here and burn down Carcassonne. So I guess I should kind of creep my way up the mountain so that I can pop over in one turn. Malagor, could probably get rid of these, honestly. Do three more. Okay. This is 112. Let me get rid of those. The problem we're going to be running into right now, chat, is our strength rating is really, really low. So that means our allies aren't going to be as likely to maintain their alliances, or it's more likely that we're going to get war declared on us. So we just got to kind of weather that storm until we build up enough of a bank that I can run a 20 stack. And once I can run a 20 stack, then we can build up enough of a bank to give the second army a 20 stack, and so on. And then that won't be a problem anymore. I could technically get Bestigors, but they cost almost as much as Minotaurs, so we're not doing that yet. So we have 750. And then we'll get 2 of these. And also, if by some miracle, one of our enemy factions shows up here, we can just go hug Skavenblight and get reinforced. As long as they're also at war with them. But I don't think we can actually encamp if we're next to Skavenblight, because this counts as entering the ambush stance. 1,000 money? Definitely the 1,000 money. We're gonna get 2 of those. Would like another one. But I'm gonna get another Ungor. Pestilent Scheme. They have 11 units in this garrison. Top knots got destroyed. Okay, that's one less war that we're in. That's good. Looks like Henry was the one that destroyed them. I think the plan still holds true. Dude, this one's terrible. I'm never gonna get this one. See, this is an example of the numbers changing. It's still minus 20 horde growth, but it's not fully replenished. I think we're just gonna do the cost of skill again here, because we're done recruiting for now. And we don't want any debuffs in battle. So I'm gonna grab this guy. Be the bait that he is. And we're gonna pop right over here. And right over there. Very good. Looks like Clan Scryer is taking Magrita. Interesting. We're just gonna drop a casual 39 Chaos Corruption into this place. This was meant to be a lurk, not you making me buy the Beastman DLC. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Oh, you know what actually sucks? We weren't able to see if there's anybody in Carcassonne. There's a military presence of 4. Maybe they're in Brion? No, they're definitely right here. That's 9. That's a 20 stack. We can't take that yet, chat. But you know what? We're beastmen. We're the hunters. We decide when we fight. And so we wait. And so we wait. We're also about to get a small replenishment bonus. This can be your testing for Chaos Corruption replenishment. It could be, yeah, depending on how long we chill here. Currently it's only +9 because that the thing with the bad moon is over, so we don't get that +10 for all characters. Okay, they're still chilling there. They're not recruiting, which is good. Who are you at war with?
Those who displease me do not
Wood
live to
Elves,
tolerate.
Paravon, so their army must be up here. Dreadfleet. Lots of Wood Elves. Actually, I'm not sure that I want to fight them just yet, because they are, in fact, at war with the Wood Elves. They could keep them rather busy. Maybe we should go up here to Massey Fork Hall and burn that down. Let's make our way downtown, chat. Again, we have to pick our battles. Pay attention to diplomacy. If we attack Carcassonne, that's gonna speed up how fast the Wood Elves, you know, aggress us. If they ever do.
Malagor.
We also have to plan out what building we're gonna build next in the Horde. I'm actually not too sure. We need money, so we could do the upkeep reduction building. That wouldn't be terrible, actually. But I mean, I don't know. What do we get as our next building? Because it's going to be 6 growth points, but it's minus 25% upkeep. Maybe we should just go for this. I think we should definitely, yeah, I think we should go for the Cursed Labyrinth. Just to get our growth all the way up. Alright, here we go. 28%. I don't know why I'm sending him first and not the bait army, but, you know. How about you? Now this is a faction, chat, that we could burn down. And we probably will. We hide again. Yeah, see, look, they took Quinnell's. We're gonna see what the Skull Smashers are up to. Hey, look, we just saw them. Perfect. We're gonna see who they're at war with and determine whether or not we kill them. They're at war with the Empire. We're not gonna touch them. We're gonna leave them be. We're gonna go for Aquitaine.
Malagor.
Just in time to our Bestial Rage is getting kind of low. So we send in the dummy. There is an army outside. Outside doesn't matter. His strength rank is 96. If his strength is 96 and ours is 103, that means his strength rank is relatively the same as ours. So he has a military presence of 10 in Bordello. Obviously not in Aquitaine. And a 7 here. So he has 17 units total. We have 16 units total. Well, we have 15 units total, I guess. Unless you count the lords. Then it'd be 16.
Devotee of the lady.
Yeah, so he has 1 more unit than us. This is fine. He has no allies. Perfect. And we finally have decent infantry too. Now here's a little something I learned in the Navy. Get out of here. The only reason I use that, chat, is because the AI does it to me. Where they'll besiege my city and then attack my outlying armies. That's the only reason I think it's okay to do this. Because see, now she's not even going to fight us. This is going to be pretty cut and dry. Our Gores, I think, should be good enough to take the walls themselves. And then their only cavalry are these. I think they're Knights of the Realm. And I think they're anti-large. So we are going to have to be careful with our Minotaurs here. I think those are Knights of the Realm. Whoa. Easy there. There we go. Absolute units. Okay, so these are Gore herds, and these are your rank and file beastmen. These aren't pathetic ungores. They have 26, 35 with shields and 30 weapon strength. And they're not expendable, is the big thing. They're not expendable, and they have more melee defense. That's why we have them. But they are still pretty cheap, too. And they're also off-center. Put them up there, because we can. Rest in peace, Giant. You will be missed. We're going to do 4 on the walls. And then 2 inside. Get him up here. There we go. Okay, are these Knights of the Realm? They are. And they are anti-large. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and keep our Minotaurs roughly in this area. so that our archers can kill the Knights of the Realm. And just as an advanced thing, we're going to move them up. There we go. Let's go ahead and hit that up, get a little damage there. A little brace scream action. Right there. We're also going to send in these 2 gore herds, because everyone knows large units work really well whenever they're surrounded by allied infantry. Another thing that's really worth noting is that we now have the strength of the land. Where is it? There it is. We now have the strength of the land on Malagor, the bullying bully. So now these Minotaurs, they have 52 armor, and these Gores have 22 armor instead of 15. Helps a bunch. And see, we're just going to be mopping up this Bretonnian infantry. We are overextending a little bit more than I wanted, because I don't think our archers can actually reach us from here. But what can you do? We just kind of walked right through them. I think I have enough infantry here that we should be able to take the anti-large cav pretty solidly. Get you in there. Looks like we took the walls pretty handily. 79 leadership on Gores is nice. That's exactly why you have to have that Gore Bull. Look at that. 110 when they're next to Malagor. 110. 67 whenever they're not. Well, this is with penalties. But still, you're absolutely right. How's this going? We need to spread out here a little bit. We're kind of clumping up on their lord. Can we actually shoot that? Oh, we can. Perfect. Maybe. We can a little bit. There we go. That magic damage pushed them over the edge. Perfect. Now we just have to wait for these fights on the walls to dwindle. Go ahead and move the Minotaurs into these bowmen. Gore Bull over here. We'll keep the Gores here. Malagor can just do his thing. Get these guys. There we go. We got him. Easy. Easy clap. Sir Setcher, thank you for the follow. You're follower number 160. I appreciate you very much. That was a pretty textbook siege with this army composition. Tipsy is playing. He's died like 5 times. Tipsy. Is that the guy that played Last Oasis with us a long time ago? How does experience work exactly? Units performance in battle or static? You know, that's something I don't really know. I don't know if it's in relation to how many kills or how much damage value you get, or if it's just... And Arc. I never played Arc with Tipsy. But I do know who you're talking about now, Grudge. I'm not sure if it's directly linked to your damage value or not, Vix, but what I have noticed is that certain units get more experience than others. Like, single entity units tend to level up faster than infantry. That's the only thing I've really noticed. Obviously, we're going to take the money here. Okay, very good. Leveled up. The Gore Bull leveled up. So now we're going to be giving them 15 armor. Next level is 23 armor. Perfect. Now we're up to 11 grand. Our dream, chat, is to get up to at least 4 units of Minotaurs, which we can actually do right now. I think I want to take care of Bordalo before we do that, though. Oh, well, hell. That's a lot. I think we can get good retreats here. This is an issue. We might be in trouble here, champ. We'll see, though. I didn't think they could reach us from there. Lessons learned. We're gonna hit them hard and fast. Hey, did I come at the end? Borluck? No. I think you're in the middle. I think. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know how much longer this stream's gonna go, chat, to be perfectly honest with you, but we're gonna keep going until I can't go anymore. Hit him hard and fast. Oh, also, it's very good to see you again, my friend. It's better to just let the archers kill their archers instead of trying to chase them down. 64 speed, 92 speed. Yeah, there's no way. That's good. One army down. This is the army with all the cav? Okay. Alright, we need to shatter these. We can't let them rally. Shattered, shattered. Come on, shatter. I need you to shatter. Okay, those have all shattered, so we can move over this way. Halberdiers, Lord, I need you to shatter. Come on. There we go. Okay, moving on. Next army, chat. Let's go. Let's go, dudes. Let's go. Send in the Minotaurs. Go, go, go. Just gotta keep them together, keep them tough with the Gore Bull, and just keep moving them as a unit. These poor guys over here are gonna get shot to death because my archers are out of position. This is perfectly fine. The Minotaurs will do great. But we are gonna flank with infantry here. There we go. Go ahead and help them out here. Shoot these guys here. Come back in. Malagor, head up this way. Malagor's come over here. No, stop chasing them. Okay, okay, okay. Gorbul. Transition over here. Go ahead and grab these guys, shoot this. There we go, that's it. Mounted Yeomen suck, by the way. Okay, let's hold here. This Heaven's caster is gonna get messed up. Right, come on. No, not that, not that, not that. Ignore that. That's it. We just need to break these with range fire. Okay, we need to make sure these guys run off the map. Nope, we're still on them. Same story here. They have to run off the map. Put them by Malagor. Malagor needs to get up here. Man, that leadership bonus, chat, is paying off, dude. Piss that guy off. You two are just gonna rotate over. You guys need to get up here. That's everything. Okay, you're off the map. You two, get over here. You will get off the map. Okay. Need to send Malagor in. This is all infantry. We need to spread out the Minotaurs here. Just a little bit. Archers are fine where they're at. Actually, no. Archers are fine where they're at. Hey, what's up, Jess? Nice to see you. Now magic will do the trick? Yeah, I hope so. Magic and Minotaurs, that's what I'm riding on. It's a lot of infantry. Let's get over there. How/what do you do to cancel a movement order? You all dragged your archers and then decided against it? It's backspace. So much. Backspace cancels that today, I learned. Yes. Yes. That's it, Minotaurs. Kill, maim, burn. Blood for the blood gore. Holy cow, these leadership buffs are paying off, chat. Why are you not shooting anything? Don't you understand? Get in there, cows. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We're chilling. Big chilling, chat. Oh, yes. Do you have a quick Tomb King's army competition tip? I feel like Tomb Guard melt or get kited by Skaven ranged. So do I just get as much Ushabti as possible, or whenever you're fighting Skaven, it's definitely the Screaming Skull catapults, and of course wherever you can, you need to get what are they called? Casket of Souls. Definitely. You have to have Tomb Guard because Tomb Guard are your tankiest shielded unit. So as much Tomb Guard as you can, and then man, what's a fast unit you could use to get on top of them? Chariots would be okay, but I would rather you have War Sphinxes, Kimbrian War Sphinxes. Scorpions are quite good too. Oh, T4 top? Then yeah, Scorpions, definitely Scorpions. Scorpions are very fast and can get right on top of them. Hello? Excuse me? Scream. Thank you. Alright. How we doing? Keep moving. I said, keep moving. And you definitely need to start shooting their archers. That's all that's keeping them in this fight, by the way. Run away. Burr Foss. Taking too much range damage here. I'm playing a bit modded, so I've got an overall unit point limit to my armies, and I'm newish to Tomb Kings, so it's been an experience. Tomb Kings in general just have a unit cap limit, right? Oh, but I guess you have an additional one because it's per army. I see. Both I and the AI have a limit? Yeah. I mean, the way I play, and the way I build my armies typically would work within a system like that. I never go more than like six of a specific kind of unit. Sometimes I do, but not always. I try to stick within 4 to 6 of a certain type of unit. Malagor, Rafkaru. Chat. What a fight. Why are you shooting at nothing? Chase him down, bulls. Shoot that. I got the mod to attempt to prevent the Grimgore overkill stack. I'm unsure of its having that effect exactly, but it at least prevents Mortal Empires from just doing Doomstack armies. Yep, pretty much. It's pretty good. Pretty good band-aid. You know? Especially as a mod, dude. It's a really good mod. Look at that, chat. Victory. Oh, I meant that as me, not Mortal Empires? I see. I got you. Heroic victory, Pog. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Woo, chat. That makes 2 really good fights we've had. Let's go. No worries. Awesome. 200. Look at these Minotaurs, dude. Look at these chonkers. The best part about that, chat, is this army is completely dead because it was in March stance. Omega lol. Awesome mod. I'm playing vanilla with unit cap, province trading, and some minor mods. Province trading would be a mod that I would run with, probably. We only lost 1 unit in that whole endeavor. It's nice. It's only because it was just a bunch of Bretonnian trash, and we have Minotaurs. That was literally it. And our infantry was just tanky enough to stay afloat. Do I take the replenishment? I think I do. My issue with the Screaming Skull and Casket units is they auto-resolve so badly, and I don't tend to like to fight every battle. I see, yeah. No, that is definitely a problem. I do fight manual battles a lot. Well, this is kind of hilarious. Ooh, look at that. We got an extra 4,000 favor. Nice. That is not something that I take into consideration when giving advice, and maybe I should. Today I learned. Break the land 3, Pog. Go right here. Oh, another thing about Beastmen, chat, is that their normal stance is an ambush stance. So they, just like the Skaven, whenever they attack, they have a chance to ambush. Just like this. Looking at a mod that does autosave like legendary at the start of the turn? I'm not sure. What is your strategy as Beastman? Always feel I'm more of a minor annoyance. Okay, so strategy overall is to pick your battles, okay? That's what we've done. We've kind of cherry-picked what conflicts we want as long as they benefit us. Namely, whenever we need money or horde growth really bad. Strategy on the battlefield, hit them hard and fast. Hit them harder and faster than they can hit you. Get on their face, punch them until they stop hitting you. You know, very cornate. Minotaurs, Cygors, Bestigors, Bray Shamans, Gore Bulls. Those are your friends. But the biggest thing is that on the campaign map, you need to pick your fights. Okay? I cannot stress that enough. You don't want to overcommit, and you don't want to take a fight that leaves you more wounded than you can recover from. And what I mean by that is you can move through the campaign map invisibly. Just stay encamped in out-of-the-way spots where the AI is very unlikely to walk through, and just bide your time, you know? Don't be afraid to declare war on people, and just keep moving. That's what that's typically how I go about it. Your goal with the early game is to reach this point where we're at, where you have a couple Minotaur units, you have a Gore Bull, and you can really just tear into people. Do you happen to know the exact mechanics behind ambush discoverability? Okay, so here's something that might shed some light on you getting spotted when you don't think you should. Agents performing actions in the region that you are hiding in will 9 times out of 10 reveal you. Just because you have 100% ambush success chance doesn't mean you have 100% ambush success chance, because what happens whenever the game rolls for the ambush is it takes your success chance and subtracts from it the AI's ability to spot ambushes, their ambush defense chance, and then it rolls that percentage. That's basically what I got for you. That, and of course, you know, terrain affects your chances, of course. Can't actually go on that side. Hope that helps. Yeah, that's fine. I figured the genre ambush roll thing, but I did not know the agent in region thing. Yes. Yes. I also figured that an agent in sight range has its own discover your ambush chance. It might. I'm not too sure. Mod for victory conditions is amazing. That's another mod that I would probably run. Because some of the victory conditions in this campaign are in this game are pretty ridiculous, like the Dark Elf ones. I never play late game for victory. It just gets too easy. Yeah, it gets kind of tedious. It does. Oh, by the way, I guess we should look at our short campaign victory objectives. We have to raise 40 settlements. We've done 4. We have to earn 10 grand from raiding. We have to destroy Reichland, Corone, and a bunch of imperial provinces. Okay, so we need to bum rush and destroy Corone. I guess that's what we're doing. Good to know. My spoon is too big. Nice to see you again. I thought ambush success only determines where you get the ambush success or ambush failed and doesn't affect discoverability chances. I guess, yeah, I forgot to differentiate between those. It might not, actually. I think you might be right, my spoon. It might not affect the chance that you get revealed, and only the chance that you successfully ambush. That's another thing that pisses me off about auto-resolve. Magic users don't use any spells, so any magic users you have is basically worth a stack of Skaven slaves. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Things I don't think about. It's very noticeable when I have 60% plus ambush success chance, how little it gets discovered. That is also true. Oh, hey, look, chat. We can finally start getting horde growth. At level 8 on turn 36. Look at that. Wow. Amazing. Okay, let's go up here. Yeah, see, okay. So now what we're going to do... Man. He cannot move very far. So now what we're going to do, chat, is we're going to pull the old replenish in a turn trick where we merge all of our units and then recruit more. Pog. Also, we can get the tier 5 horde, as we should. We have a little bit of money left over here. Maybe we should get this. Nah. Nah. We're gonna save it. Horde growth for Beastmen is the second half. Yes, welcome to why this campaign is awful. I'm your host, Soro. Nice to meet you. It's in the second half, yes. And the only other way to get horde growth is through the Doe follower and one technology that gives you, I think, 3. I did 3 turns of Beastmen after finishing a Chaos campaign, and I noped the fuck out. As well you should. Oh, this is interesting. Muzalon declared war on us. Guess where we're going next? Oh, he's coming for us. Raid any region belonging to the Empire with Malagor. Okay. Okay, so we do have an enemy army here. They're also at war with Bordalo. So what we're going to do is side skirt them. We're going to side skirt them so hard, and we're going to go up this way. In fact, I'm going to go so far this way. Same with this guy. Just going to avoid them entirely. Am I a terrible person for missing the blue wall ever since the orc patch / buffs? You mean the Dawi? The Dawi tide? Maybe a little. I won't think any less of you though. Okay. We have enough money. I think it's acceptable to do this. And this. And this. Yeah, I think that's totally acceptable. We're going to go up to 20 units before we engage in this debauchery. So yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure the game differentiated discoverability and ambush success chance in the question mark details. Okay, I've never read that, so I'm going to trust you. I will go with that then. I never saw the blue wall as a huge threat. They tended to stay in their mountains and kill off the vampires. True. Now the orcs molest them and the vampires run free. Yes, they do. Oh, my guy got discovered. Or did I just not? Oh, okay, yeah, he did. He did get discovered. So this is actually really, really good, chat. And remember whenever we were talking about the bait and switch strategy that you can do with Beastmen? Now it's here on full display. You see this soft, unsuspecting vampire count army full of really soft and squishy infantry? In march stance, no less? Get ambushed, kid. And this is where beastmen become actually incredibly powerful, whenever you can even accidentally pull off these kinds of maneuvers. And this is the benefit of splitting your army just a little bit apart. And keeping that one guy down to where he's just the one lord. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. The ambush attack is why your deployment area is so weird to me? Yes, this is the Beast Paths map, which you can only find whenever you fight the Beastmen in their Beast Path stance, or if they ambush you. Auto-resolve and ambushes are so brokenly OP, they really are. They give you such a huge bonus. Huge bonus. Let's see. Got some cav over there, but I don't really care. I'm gonna put the Ungors right here. Nice and safe. This is all skeletons and stuff anyway. I'm gonna put the Minosaurs over here. I'm gonna put Malagor over here with the cav. Do you keep videos on Twitch? Need to go to sleep, but would like to continue watching tomorrow? Yes, the Twitch VODs will be kept on Twitch for 2 months, and then Twitch deletes them. Or you can do !YouTube. I have a very, very basic YouTube channel where basically I just store VODs. That's all it is. I haven't uploaded there in a long time, but I'm going to start doing that again, starting with 2 campaigns before this. Our Throt the Unclean campaign. I have to start uploading it. So yeah. Amazing. You're very welcome. To be fair, the reason I use auto-resolve on ambushes is that it feels like it's as good as it should be, whereas when I play the ambush, I feel like I do worse than a normal battle. I guess that does depend. It also depends, you know, on your composition, the army's composition, and the map. So, I understand. And I'm not going to fault you for it, obviously. The majority of the player base does auto-resolve all the time. And I used to auto-resolve all the time before I started streaming. And I don't auto-resolve as much anymore because obviously I think that the stream is just better the more battles I fight. Fighting is more fun. See, and it's great that the game lets you decide that. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. That's a problem. Oh, you're too far away. Now stay here. There we go. Good night, chat and Sorrow. Good night, Vix. It's nice to meet you today. What's going on here? Skeleton Spearman got you down, Minotaurs? These guys are doing okay. Moo. Nice. Okay, they're doing this again. Oh yeah, for sure I'll play battles where it's not in my favor because I agree I can usually do it, quote, better. Yeah, absolutely. That's because in a real ambush, their army would be in disarray and strung out. In the game, it's just starting close to them. Well, I mean, they are kind of like in a bad formation. But see, it's also very dependent on their roster, right? If you catch dwarves out in an ambush, it's so much better than catching out like Warriors of Chaos, for example. Because the dwarves have their artillery in the back, which are very vulnerable and very valuable. Whereas the Warriors of Chaos will have their cavalry in the back, and it won't really matter to them as much. I really need you to kill these cav. That and the AI reacts pretty much instantly. That's true. The AI has perfect information and can react at the flip of a coin. Make them run away. Well, I guess they're not going to run away. They're undead. Never mind. I forgot. Excuse me. These guys aren't doing anything. Looks like we killed the White King. Gonna get a nice flank over here. Man, am I hungry, chat. Let me tell you. I did not eat dinner before starting the stream. There we go. Kill the Lord. That's it. Nice. So now we can flank these and they'll crumble, and there we go. Victory. La-di-da. Perfect. One of my hopes for Warhammer 3 is a bit more of a supply chain mechanic. Wagons and things that exist in battles that, while they don't do much in that battle, destroying or damaging them and losing the battle, will have great effect on that army over the coming campaign map turns. I think that idea is really cool. And it would be awesome if CA just kind of like blindsided us and added it in. It's not something that I expect to happen, but I think it would be really awesome. Assault of Stone, that's actually a really good spell. Okay, so now we can move back over here. More Children of Chaos. I think it will unfortunately just effectively be an expansion. Technically, yes. It is pretty much just an expansion. What you said is basically how I approach any game design idea these days. Don't even bother to post suggestions these days. So jaded with early access games. It's really hit or miss, right? Because like you got to think about it. The devs, whenever they go into a project, they have a vision in mind, right? And it's not the easiest thing in the world to let other people change that vision. I hope that Cathay has OP Serpentine Dragons. Now that is a pretty reasonable expectation. They would look so dope. They're actually, my spoon is too big. I don't know how much you know about Cathay, but they're actually ruled by a dragon. They're ruled by the Celestial Dragon Emperor, which is a dragon that can turn into a human. I don't remember his name. Things that I think are realistic to expect out of Warhammer 3 in terms of someone explain like I'm 5 who/what Cathay is. Cathay is Warhammer's take on ancient China. Just like the Empire is Warhammer's take on the Holy Roman Empire, etc. It's a faction that never got an army on the tabletop, and it barely had any lore about it whatsoever. And what has happened? Do they exist on current Mortal Empires map, or is it currently hidden terrain? They are like way over here, way over this way. So if this is Europe, and this is like Russia, they're over here where China would be. I don't think it has anything to do with vision. It's about a formula that has made them huge cash. They won't risk changing it. It depends on the developer board. Like I was just talking about like early access developers in general, not anyone specific, but that also does hold true. Is this supposed to be based on the actual Earth map? Yes, it is. Can't you see Spain? This is Spain. It's called Australia. This is Spain. This is Atlantis. This is North America. This is South America. This is Africa. See, you can even tell like there's a desert here, and it even kind of looks like Africa, the northern part. So that would make the Badlands kind of the Middle East, and this would be Asia. Yep. Yeah. I think this is too fucking big, and in fact, it's actually a little shrunk from what it's supposed to be. But yeah, they made it a continent instead of a city. What was I saying about Cathay? I feel like there was something I forgot. Elves are greedy. That's a fact. Oh, I wanted to recruit more Minotaurs. Not that many. And some Gores. Lizardmen are like the Aztec? Yeah. Oh, China never had an army on the tabletop is where you left off? Yeah, so what has happened is Games Workshop has decided to revisit the old world tabletop before the Age of Sigmar, which is currently their main focus for fantasy. And what they're doing is they're giving Kislev an actual army book, and with the announcement of Warhammer 3, they're giving Cathay an actual army book. And so basically Creative Assembly has gotten early access to the Cathay army list, and so they're going to be developing a faction based off of Games Workshop's content before that content even hits the tabletop. So only Europeans are human? Cathay is human. Araby is also human. Yeah, Arabs is Araby, yes. I have to take this. It's only 2 turns. It'll be fine. The only reason to buy this building is to get 5% reduced upkeep on the Minotaurs. From 5 to 10. But it costs 2 growth. Oh, they already have a 20 stack? Interesting. How about you, Muzalon? We should maybe move towards Muzalon. I can't. I'm recruiting. Okay, so we're going to recruit and heal 1 turn. No, that building is for a second Gore Bowl. You're right. Thank you. I almost forgot. I will be needing that second Gore Bowl. How do you identify that they have a 20 stack without selecting it? This bar beside their banner is full. Also, what's up, Rat? Before they were defined countries, I believe that area was called Araby IRL. Maybe. They need to rework Beastman's Horde growth so badly? Absolutely. Why did I think that was the Winds of Magic bar? I'm not sure. I don't even think I have access. Yeah, this is the Winds of Magic bar. This is their unit number. Also, I don't know where their army went. So, this chat is another reason why Beastmen are really strong. Because they don't know I'm here, and they moved their army out of their capital. So now I can just burn it down. Smile. I also need to recruit this guy. Oh my gosh, yes. I don't even need to look at this one. Look at this. 10% weapon strength for Minotaur units, all units in the army. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, how much movement range is this going to take? 25%. So what we're gonna do is this. Make angry goat man noises. And then we're gonna pick the bigger one.
Not in this world or the other.
What was the other? What kind of magic does Malagor have? Any good? He has the lore of wild, and it's okay. It's not great. It's kind of expensive, but it's good. There is leadership reduction trait for Beastman heroes. Do you stack them? Whenever I get the chance. Whenever I get the chance. I don't farm hero and lord trait recruitment like some people. Malagor magic is great. It's pretty good. It's not the best, but it's pretty darn good. I'll admit that I don't have the most experience with it. So now what we're going to do is break the siege. Because the combination of Malagor's skill, of course not Croak tier. I mean more like I'm thinking about like the lore of like shadows and stuff. Shadows, fire, life, vampires. I'm thinking about those as being like good quality lores. But yeah, I mean it's good. These are a little expensive, but the fact that he like can churn out winds of magic like nobody's business makes this not so bad. And like I said, you probably have more experience with it than I do. Nerve of Wild is more nasty than Shadow. Maybe. I see the potential. I do see the potential. Nerve of Wild is kind of bottom tier for me. I'd rather have Shadows. I personally am a big fan of the lore of Shadows. But we'll see after this playthrough. I haven't played Malagor in a really long time. So Rat, I am definitely open to thinking that it could be better than Shadow. Because like I said, I don't have as much experience with it. Goodbye. The spell reduce leadership debuff. Malagor has a ton of leadership skill. Yes, because he has we'll look at that, Rat. We'll look at that real fast. Because he already starts out with -8, which is pretty significant. And then on top of that, you can get one of these up here. There, something wicked this way comes, which is another -9, so that's -17. And then you're saying one of these does negative leadership. This one, -8 and an AoE. So that would be -23 leadership. And doesn't he have another one? Yeah, he's also got this one, which is an aura around himself, which is another -4. So what is that? That's 8, 17, 23, right? 8, 17, 23. So 27 negative leadership around him. That is pretty good. Did you do anything in the south where you start or just traveled? No, we've kind of been going northwest because we got a defensive alliance with Skaven Blight. So we just kind of went there and used that as a replenishment hub, and now we're going to beeline it to kill Corone, is the current plan. So yeah, no, that is a rather large amount of negative leadership. I can see why this is now very, very powerful. The heroes also get the got leadership trait? Yes, they can. Do the Bray Shamans have one? I don't have a Bray Shaman yet, and I don't remember. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Okay, we got a skill point on our boy here. This isn't worth it, so we'll go for Blade Master. Horde growth. Oh, he's got a level. Blessed by evil. Okay. Let's burn this down, chat. Sorry, chat, I have a message. There we go. Chat, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick, and I'm going to get a bottle of water because my throat hurts. All right? Give me like 2 seconds. All right. Sorry about that, chat. Why are people afraid of elks and cows? I've never really heard of people being afraid of cows. Elk, aren't they like really huge? I don't know why you'd be afraid of cows. Bulls, maybe. Oh, man. Nice tasty agua. Ugh, man. Okay. 1 sec, answer our message. It's 9 o'clock. We've been live for 2 hours 44 minutes. Okay. Oh yes, we've reached critical mass with the Minotaurs. This is going to be delicious. Actually, hold on. Let's do this. Let's actually be a little fancy. There we go. Then again, haven't seen cloven hooves with teeth like that. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I got it. A little slow today, chat. A little slow. Let's do 3 on each side. Then 2 down the middle. These guys can just chill right there. Malagor chills there. Minotaurs are some pretty mean cows. Ever tried Siege Timeout build as a Beastman? No, I have not. I assume it's just hiding in the trees until the timer runs out. Not sure. Shouldn't tell all of them. Let's get one of them. Minotaurs isn't just mean. Fair. Flat. Okay, let's knock this gate down. Come on. I hate this. They eat people? That's true. I guess they're not like your regular cows then, are they, huh? In Warhammer World, cow eat you? Do they? Oh, absolutely, yeah. Beastmen eat people. For sure. Cow eat you. Get in there. They don't graze. Oh, that's a hilarious image. Just a bunch of Minotaurs with giant battle axes munching on some grass. Yeah, we're good there. Need to get some cowboys to keep them in line. Need something a little stronger than rope. Probably like, you know, bullets. Or cannonballs. Taking a lot of damage. I guess Pegasus Knights are anti-large. That makes sense. But Minotaurs don't care. They just keep rolling. Get a unit of mine towards to run these guys down. In Warhammer World, cow eat flying horse. And that's not one of the craziest things that happens in the Warhammer world. Actually pretty rudimentary. There's no horse beastmen in this world? There might be. I hate fighting Pegasus Knights, backline robbers. Yeah, pretty much that's flying cav in a nutshell. Yeah, pretty obnoxious. I do know that the beastmen, like, change appearances. Well, I guess that's not, they don't really change, they're not like chameleons. But, like, beastmen from different parts of the world look like different kinds of beasts. Like, beastmen in the old world look like goats. But, like, beastmen down south look like penguins. Like down in Antarctica. And then they look like lizards in like the Southlands. They're like lizard beastmen. At least they're supposed to. Because how the beastmen came to be was literally just the regular flora, the regular fauna from the area mutated into a beastman. The multiple penguin question mark. Yes, yes. They're like mutant penguins. Lizard people is not beastmen. I know lizardmen aren't beastmen, but there are beastmen who are mutated lizards. That's a hefty sum of money. Because whenever the storm of chaos broke out across the planet, just like the regular animals mutated into the beastmen. There are tiger beastmen in the east, exactly. I don't think we really need lightning strike because we have ambush. Yeah, I'm just not gonna take it. Might be a mistake, but oh well. Why do Ungors look more like men? Ruination? Oh, did I miss it? Did I skip it? Rank 12, rank 12, rank 12, rank 12. Ruination. Not sure what you mean. Blue skill? This one? I never lay siege. I always attack on the first turn. And if there's an army in there that I can't handle, I try to bait it out. So, yeah, I never use this. Siege auto skills are a huge waste for the most part. It just depends on how you play. I used to use this. Used to. I just don't anymore. Okay. Seems good. We can expect that 20 stack from Bordello to be back, but thankfully within reinforcement range. But then, chat, there's these people from a place called Koresh, which is south of Cathay, and that's full of snake men, and I don't believe they are beastmen. They're something different. That's one thing they should change in 3. Many times I prefer Siege because I can control the engagement too easy. They just need to rework Sieges in general. Like, and whenever, you know, people say rework Sieges, I hope they don't just mean, like, the maps. David Koresh? No, Koresh. Like, K-H-U-R-E-S-H. Something like that. Hide. Yeah, we're definitely going over here. I'm just gonna leave him in the woods. These guys, also leaving in the woods. These are the forbidden units, we're not using them. Moo. Nope. I pressed shift instead of G, or control. I mean. Yeah, that'd be a character, wouldn't it? You two can just like go over here. I cannot rewrite reality. We're actually just gonna hold here. And we're gonna shoot these. Pull the Minotaurs back over this way. I'm gonna send them through there. Because they all have woodsmen now. So they can just move through forest like it's nothing. Reduced loyalty for all of the lords, yeah, pretty much. Or steals experience from them. There we go. Now we push. I don't think I've ever grasped force mechanics. I know it slows you down, especially larger units, but how exactly does it affect ranged projectiles and or spells? Literally just by being hitboxes. Like, whenever a ranged unit fires into the woods, the arrows hit the trees. That's literally it. No, I don't think there's anything really fancy going on behind the scenes. Spells, I don't really think it affects them a whole lot. I don't think so. Go my cows. And large units, it just slows them down. It might give them a speed penalty, but also they have to maneuver around the trees. How solid of a hitbox are we talking? Like 50% rate via leaves, or no, just the wooden parts. These. If it hits the trunk, it'll block the projectile. And it's pretty effective, honestly. Pretty strong. Well, this is unfortunate for you. Moo. Sorry, which way is it effective blocking shots or effective to shoot through trees? It's really effective at blocking shots. I think the woodsman trait makes it. I don't remember. I thought they might have added something that made projectiles pass through trees, but maybe they didn't. They might not have. That was during the Wood Elves rework. They added. Well, this is actually no. This is before the Wood Elves rework. But see, like, you can see these little particle effects happening every time the arrows hit the trees. You see the little gray particles? You might not be able to see it on stream. Every time an arrow hits the tree. So obviously you have your archers in the trees. It works both ways, whether they're shooting into them or shooting out of them. It still messes you up. Alright, so now we need to spin this way. I have a lot of horse archers, which has really done a lot of damage to these Minotaurs. Come back to the fold. The only answer I really have for horse archers are my own archers. They're just holding position on that hill. bring this guy out now. But see, they're gonna do a lot of damage to these Minotaurs because they're shooting them in the back. I don't think they'll kill them though. Pull the Minotaurs back. Set up our shield wall. That is not what I wanted. Is there extra damage taken from the rear or just the fact that the shields are front facing? The shields. I don't think there's rear facing bonus damage in this game. If there is, I haven't noticed. Okay, they're out of arrows. In Troy, there is. But not, I don't think in this one. Ouch. That's Alberic. I know your melee defense is applied in quadrants, and yours is like 25%. See, now that I did not know. Oh, shoot. I shouldn't have been doing that. I'm gonna send the Minotaurs in. Those are pole arms. These guys need to get out. Speaking of that, I'd love to see ordered retreat. What do you mean by that? Give me a sec, chat. I'll catch up in here in a sec. I really need to charge in here. This is good. Cycle through each of them. Where's the Gorbel? No, Gorbel needs to go here. Moving away without turning your back, still defending with a shield. Oh, that'd be nice. Just like a walk backwards button. Well, we took a cavalry charge to the archers, but luckily it's just mounted yeomen. And that's a win. I said that's a win. Oh, they didn't actually break. Never mind. Just kind of standing here dying because I thought the battle's over. I mean, they all mass retreated. Still no. Curious. Each individual unit, not unit card, has a quadrant for its melee attack and defense, or maybe I should say octagon, because it's split on the midline to create above or below. Oh, I didn't know that. The more you learn. There's a whole lot of information about this game that's really, you know, not exposed. You know what I mean? Like for easy example, the accuracy skill of archers, or the attacks per second of a melee unit. Things that would be really nice to know in a strategy game. Man, this battle went on a lot longer than I was expecting it to. And tech for formations and maneuvers, it's not easy or simple fighting a formation. You have to drill. That's true. They should know how to do more than just stand in different types of boxes. Finally, the battle's over. Took a lot more damage than I thought. That's okay. Most of it's gores. These are actually really high health because they're at 12 out of 16 models. See here. More water time. I don't remember if I completed this thought, but I'm just going to say it again. I think something to be reasonably expecting out of Warhammer 3 are reworked diplomacy and sieges. I remember saying sieges, I don't remember saying diplomacy. Take the money. I hope so. I definitely think so. Diplomacy is awful. I think you're going to see something a lot like Troy's diplomacy. I'm not giving you money. You kidding? $15 melee attack when fighting at sea. Love it. This is what we classify as a follow-up battle. And there goes Bordalo. Hog. One less opportunity for Bretonnia to confederate. A squeeze on over here. Level 12. I don't really think I need any of these just yet. Definitely going to get something wicked this way comes in a few levels. I can hold off on getting Manbane and Rune of the True Beast. Slug Skin is a must. I'd like to see factions act in their best interest. Now, don't get me wrong. The diplomacy system in Warhammer 2 makes sense if you know how it works. It works. It's not buggy and awful. But it's just not the clearest, and I would definitely say it's not the best. I miss the family trees and marriage arrangements. I don't think that's going to happen. But I do think AI behavior and the diplomacy thing in general is just going to be much better. Also, we're going to get hoofed heavyweights, so that buffs our Minotaurs and Cygors. Makes them even more ridiculous. Also, can't forget about this guy. His name is just Darkness. Just Dar. Or Dark. It's either Darkness or Dark. Same thing, really. Okay. We have 0 horde growth because we just did that event. But we're at plus 19 now, which is nice. And I don't think it goes any higher without a doe. And I haven't gotten a doe yet. Which really sucks. I would really like to have one. Less confederation, it's lame when a strong culture just agrees to join another and gives up independence. I think that depends on the faction. It makes sense for Bretonnia to confederate. It makes a little less sense for the Empire to confederate, but it makes more sense for the dwarves to confederate. You know what I mean? High elves, they probably wouldn't confederate so much, nor would the dark elves. Lizardmen probably wouldn't really confederate that much either. I think it needs to be more varied between factions, not just, you know, less confederation overall. Just to make sense, you know, with the lore. We're level 5, right? Yeah, we are. This is looking pretty solid. We just need to get Cygors and Bestigors and some Bray Shamans. So, like, a bunch of other things. But we're actually sitting really nice now that we can take on some pretty solid garrisons and armies. I'm actually going to pay him because I want him to succeed in life. He is our defensive ally after all. Hey, what's up, Matt? How are you doing, Mr. Fancier Harp? And this is what happens whenever you bait them. On accident, no less. But see, on an open field here, got revealed, so they attacked him, but they didn't know Malagor was literally right next to him. Not too bad. How's your day been? It's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. I had to offload some hay today, which wasn't the best. But other than that, it's been pretty good. And of course, I was helping my fiance, so honestly, not even bad. What if the AI would gauge threats like the city is in danger of falling to an enemy, then it agrees to terms, your pledge to defend that front? Oh, so, okay. I see what you're saying. I mean, that'd be cool. Something a bit more realistic. Rather than you will defend me from all wars, always. Second time I've done that. You mean the Soros stealer? Yes. I do. I actually have to go hang out with her tonight. So yeah. Rather unfortunate. No, that's not right. It's not unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the stream, not for me. All wars, all enemies, but you can ignore it with no penalty. Yeah, they definitely need some. They need to take a look at their treaties. I'm seeing your ideas, and seeing what you're getting at, and I agree that that does need to change. All right, let's push. Hit them hard and fast. We were just waiting to get into position. Oh, hello. Let me back that up. Yeah, I was about to get in trouble. I might already be. But that's okay. Let me back that up. Arm you. Very good. These Minotaurs are gonna mess these Black Knights up. Completely forgot to move this guy. I'm gonna lose this unit. Whatever. Oh my. That's the thing. That's fine. Give me another one. This time we'll do it from the flank here. Knocked all my dudes down. Still have a hard time gauging the range on that spell, because it's not as big as the tooltip says. Oh, whoops, my Gorbulls are idle. I don't need to send them both into the same spot. I think they killed the White King. Yeah, I think that's him. This is the leveled up one. Give me another one. We'll do a scream here too. Oh, never mind, it doesn't have enough range. I'll scream here. There we go. That should be it. Nice. Now we can burn down Muzalon and move on with our lives. Again, the ultimate goal here is to get to Corone. Once we burn down Corone and we destroy Lewin the Encore, the goal is going to be to destroy Karl Franz before he has the chance to confederate a whole bunch. So at Corone, that's where we're going to recruit our second army. Because that'll give us enough money to, you know, do so. There we go. We finally got our plus 10% casualty replenishment. We've, let's see, Unholy Resilience. We've also gotten, we're going to get this because it stacks, Pog. We're going to have Unbreakable Gores. Let me look at this research. So our research rate is all the way down to 76%, so we're going to get the Seed of Hate, which will give us 20%, and then we might even get Worship of the Ruinous Powers. We'll see. Let me see how much you got, Muzelon. He's got 2. Oh.
This is impudence.
How did I miss that, chat? Right over my head. Oh well. We finally have 20 units though, so that's Pog. I think next we're going to build the upkeep reduction building, and we're going to get Bestigors. And then we'll get the, basically, I think we're going to transfer all of these regular Gores over to the other army. Then just get some Ungor Raiders, and maybe like 2 Minotaurs, if that. Just something for Siege Attacker. We're just gonna go over here, heck that other guy. I heard he smells. Stop doing that. Put you like so. Something like that. Let's go. Zoom, zoom. Oh, look at that. They actually went and hit the gate this time. Look how fast that gate melts. I like their bowmen. The raiders are actually not bad. They don't do a whole lot of damage, but they're fast and they have stalk. So I tend to use them throughout the campaign, honestly. Have you played Valheim? Yes, Matt, I have. I was playing with Gredge, actually, if you know Gredge. Me, Gredge, Aquas, and Tequila have all been playing. It's really good. I highly recommend it. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, yeah. It's a ton of fun for like a PvE survival game. I was thinking about actually like taking one day and streaming it just for funsies, just to kind of show what it is and show off what we've done. So I might do that sometime this week. I'm not opposed to streaming games besides Warhammer, Total War, but this will definitely be like the primary game of the stream, especially now that Warhammer 3 is coming out. Give him a little hand. Put them on the wall so they don't die. Was playing with some friends yesterday. It's a ton of fun. We just did the second boss today. There we go. And we just got into like iron weapons and tools and things. Oh, by the way, Chad, if you haven't noticed, the undead absolutely crumble and like fall in like paper before the beastmen. It's not even like close. Black Horns Ravagers, Gore Herds with shields, okay. Got a Cultist, don't really need that. Level 13, more Hoofed Heavyweights. Now we have +4 melee attack and +6 melee defense for Minotaurs. Pretty awesome. Primal Instincts. Best of the Beast. And Hide. Still at 0. That's okay. I guess we can start upgrading this guy's horde. He's got 15 growth points because he's been with us since the beginning. So we'll do that. All right. Chat, the stream has been popping off today. I just want to thank you guys for lurking and being here, and those of you who've been talking. Took me many hours in game to realize how important leadership is for undead. Oh yeah, for sure. They have that one trait, I think they do, that gives them leadership when attacking. Very helpful. Oh, my Gore Bull got wounded. Daggone it. Now we're gonna get... Or are we gonna get? 15 melee attack for Ungore and Gore units. I wonder if that works for Bestigores. I think we're gonna go for the Kalkengard Larder. So we're gonna get 10 melee attack and melee defense for Lords and Heroes, which is huge. Then we're gonna get 20% weapon strength for Minotaurs. Kinda nutty. Kinda nutty. Children of Chaos. Now we're gonna head up towards Corone. I have a Bray Herd. Gross. Kill it. Yeah, go kill Bray. Go away. Bray Herd armies are... They can, like, reveal your herd. I'm convinced they can reveal your Bray Herd. It's upgraded to tier 3. That tech tree, they need a rework so badly. It's really bad. They have, like, 3 technologies that are pretty good, and then the rest is just like, ugh, I have to research this. You know what I mean? It's pretty bad. Hopefully our Bray Herd is successful in killing Muzalan. That'd be nice. I'm not gonna give him money anymore. I don't rely on him as much as I thought I was going to. No. Our Bray Herd was destroyed. Perfect. Give me that power reserve. 26%. Languille. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
This is Bretonia.
They have 3 settlements. No. No. Okay, 1. Where's the second one? 1, 2. Three. Okay, well this is good. No, this is very good. That means Corona is going to die. Very, very good. So now we just have to do this. Also, I don't know why my reliability rating is low. I don't know what I did. I must have attacked somebody that I had a non-aggression pact with. Alright, chat. Get him to tier 4. And I think that is gonna have to do it for today, my friends. I apologize. The stream was only like 3.5 hours long, but you know, I just tried to squeeze as much time out of it as I could. Let me go ahead and close that. Like I said, the stream was popping off today. You guys came out in droves to support the Beastmen. I appreciate you. Hopefully, I did not disappoint. I think we've been doing pretty darn well, all things considered. Let me be honest, I was kind of nervous. I was like, man, I haven't played Beastmen in a long time. Probably gonna mess it up, but no, it's been going pretty good. It's been going pretty good. You're getting stolen? I know I am. I gotta go. I don't want her to be mad at me, and she might already be. So I've been here too long. We had a ton of people here today, and I really appreciate it. I thank you guys for your support, and like that's all I ask. Just gotta watch. I appreciate all of you lurkers and all of you who talked. Thank you again to Sir Setcher for the follow. See y'all. See you, Borlak. See you, Matt. Jess, if you're still here, see you. And yeah, I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow. I might be. I really can't say. The schedule nowadays is very volatile. Hopefully I'll see you all. I'm not mad. See, look, boom, she's not mad. Perfect. But thank you all so very much for being here. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. I'll try and like post in the Discord when I'll be live again. Just basically whenever I can find the time to. Until the summer hits, and hopefully I'll have more time. But as always, guys, I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever the heck it is for you, wherever you are in the world. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow or sometime relatively soon. Later.